There's some block update lag for you. I'm pretty sure there's blocks down there. What's up, Agents? Zero here, and welcome back to another Minecraft Pocket Edition and Showcase. And today I'm going to be showcasing Jimbo's modern weapon, and this was created by a guy by the name of Jimbo_Acub. So, dude, your information will be down in the description. You're welcome. So basically, what this does is it adds in a few different weapons and a couple of mobs into the game. Now, I have a chest here, and I have an ender chest here. Now, the ender chest actually contains an item of which doesn't exactly work as of right now, which I don't understand why. In fact, it causes a whole ton of problems as far as actually your world that just has problems after you use this thing. I'll get to that at the end of the video, but let's go ahead and get started with what's in the normal chest. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is some armor. Now, it's a helmet and a chest plate. Now, these are both iron armor, and this is basically what it does. So it adds a helmet and goggles and then a vest, which I'm not 100% sure I like the helmet because it covers up half your face. I don't know, that's probably just me. But the vest does look really cool. I'm going to admit to that. So I'm actually going to put the armor away for the remainder of the video. So that's the armor that they add into the add-on. Now we're going to take a look at the weapons. The first thing we're going to take a look at is this knife. And this is basically just an iron sword. That's all this really is. It's only an iron sword. But I really like the texture of this. It looks like a really heavy-duty knife. I'm going to say that right now. Then we also have some ranged weapons, which, because I'm using a game controller, the controls for these weapons do not seem to match up with their normal counterparts. For example, this shotgun. Ordinarily, in order for me to use this, this replaces a fishing rod, and ordinarily I'm supposed to push my left shoulder button, but apparently it's working with my right for whatever reason. But basically, this does a total of 15 attack damage, just like that. And that's basically all it does. And then we also have ourselves a missile launcher, which is a bow, and, well, missiles, which are, well, arrows. And I was actually experimenting around with some of these weapons a little bit earlier. I was just kind of messing around. So you guys can kind of see exactly what these weapons do already. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this does. And this also messes with my controls for whatever reason. But this is basically what it is. Let's go ahead and aim, like, over here. That's literally all it does, is it creates a huge hole wherever it fires. And does just a little bit of damage, not too much. But that's basically all it really does. And that's it for those weapons. Now let's take a look at the explosives. We have ourselves a grenade and a fire-powered pipe bomb. These basically do the same thing, but at the same time, not quite. So if we go ahead and throw the grenade, this creates a huge hole in the ground. There's some block update lag for you. I'm pretty sure there's blocks down there. Anyway, let's go ahead and ignore that for right now. So that's the grenade. Now, next up we have ourselves the fire-powered pipe bomb. Now, this does a similar thing, but with an added effect. So the explosion is not near as big, but does create fire from the explosion, which is actually kind of cool if I'm being completely honest. And those chunks did not load. There we go. Alright, there we go. So that's pretty much it for the weapons side of it. Now we actually have ourselves a few mobs that got added into the game. So we have ourselves a skeleton, which this is actually a soldier, which let me go ahead and quickly pull out the missile launcher again. So these are skeletons. And something that I noticed about these is that they actually, granted this one did technically spawn with armor, which wasn't expected. If they spawn in naturally without armor, they actually do not burn in daylight, which is actually kind of interesting. And they actually have shotguns. I don't know why they don't have RPGs. Probably because then that'd be too overpowered, because they technically do spawn with bows, and this is technically spawning them with fishing rods. But that's basically what happens. And the reason why I got the missile launcher back out is because if you're able to do this correctly, you can actually tame these guys. Just like that. I just tamed this soldier, so now he's going to be my friend. And I can do the same thing with this guy as well. And that only took one. That's kind of interesting. So they are now going to end up being my friends. And that's basically how they end up working. Now next we have ourselves a creeper, which is actually a landmine. The way this works is that whenever a mob walks over it, it will detonate. Just like that. And it detonates over mobs as well as players. But because I am in creative mode, it's not going to detonate over me. So something I do want to go ahead and quickly test out. If I go ahead and do this, and I get out some wheat. I want to go ahead and lure these animals over the landmine. Yeah, that's exactly how that works. And it didn't actually detonate the instant I put it down. That's exactly how that works. Now, next up we have ourselves, as you can tell, iron blocks and pumpkins. That's because they actually end up retexturing iron golems as well. And I have myself a husk spawn egg because A, they're hostile, and the iron golems attack hostile mobs, and B, they don't burn in daylight. So let's go ahead and spawn in one of these iron golems, just like this. Get out the pumpkin, and there we go. This is a turret, and I actually don't know how much damage these guys will do. Apparently this turret killed the soldier. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at my computer screen. Okay, whatever. So these have a 35 block radius, which is actually kind of interesting, and they have 50 hearts of health, which is actually not too bad. So let's go ahead and spawn in one of these husks, and basically 2 shots, well, pretty much anything. And it will automatically turn in order to lock on to its target. And if one of your tamed soldiers accidentally gets hit by one of these turrets, then your soldier will actually end up trying to attack the turret. And as you can tell, it's actually already doing that right now. And I did that intentionally just to show you guys that it could be done. So that's the turret. And I actually lost... Where am I? There they are. So then that's pretty much all there is to this add-on so far, apart from what's inside of this chest. This is technically a wither skeleton, but it's actually a tank. And I also have coal, and I have a tank key. Now, I'm not 100% sure what the tank key is. It is not a... the tank key is not a carrot on the stick like most normal keys. This is actually right here, so it's replacing something else, which I'm not 100% sure what it's replacing, but it does stack in sets of 64. I'd have to look at the basic creative inventory to figure out what it actually is. So basically, the tank requires a key to be driven, requires coal as fuel, and then the tank key to be driven. But here's the problem. I was playing around with this earlier today just to test the add-on, and, well, this is what happens. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm flying around with the tank spawning in my hand just because I want to find a nice clear spot in order to be able to spawn this thing, and that's going to make a difference. It's going to ruin my world as soon as I do this. But I just kind of wanted you guys to see exactly what this does. Otherwise, I wouldn't cut to this part. So, you know what this looks like? It'll be a good spot. It's nice and far away from the other parts of the world. And if I go and spawn this in, yeah, this happens. Chunks decide to despawn, and my GUI decides to turn off. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pause the game right now. In fact, I'm paused right now, and not even the pause menu comes on. So this is what happens. Yeah, and if I come close to chunks that already got loaded in, well, they disappear as I come close to them. And chunks behind me, they don't reload. And I'm really hoping that the add-on creator Jimbo will be able to possibly fix this, because the reason why I decided to download the add-on in the first place is because of the tanks, and I really was hoping I'd be able to showcase this. And look at this, I can't even go third person and show myself. That's how bad this is. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to showcase the tanks, because this is the main reason why I decided I wanted to showcase this, because this is one of the newer features, and well, as you can tell, I can't showcase the tanks. So, and it looks like there may be some mobs that spawned, and because I saw some shadows before the chunks despawned, which I don't understand why they're despawning in the first place. But yeah, that's basically what's wrong with the tank. So yeah, don't spawn in the tanks. It's just that simple. Don't spawn in the tanks. That's what happens. But other than that, that's pretty much all there is to this video. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure that like button. One more than make sure that subscribe button for future content. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at MCPEDL to stay updated. This has been Jimbo Studios. Thank you guys for watching. And with that, I will see you guys later.